If you have ever felt like you're in a place where you're just feeling frantic to get things done, or you just feel like there's so much to do during the week and you can never get that to-do list accomplished, then you are in the right place, because today we're talking about how to use Sunday to help prepare for your most productive week ever. So thanks to those of you who are on Periscope and who are just joining. I love Sunday afternoons because it's usually this time that's a little more restful. And hey, we have Martin in from Germany, so thanks for joining us, Martin. We're talking about how to use Sundays to help prepare for the week ahead and make sure that you're getting so many things done that you want to accomplish, instead of just being reactive and reacting to all of the things that that you think are on your to-do list, or that. And Kelly has joined us. Kelly, I haven't heard from you for a while. Welcome. So getting to those things that you want to accomplish instead of the things that you feel are just always tugging at you. So my name is Amanda Bentow. I'm a mom, I'm an entrepreneur. I help people develop a lifestyle of healthy habits so that they have that solid foundation for feeling great, so that they can live their best life. And I'm also the creator of Life Unleashed. It's a program where we address all of that stuff. I also help people who have a goal or a message that they want to share and want to start a business or build a platform to be able to get their message out there. So that's a little bit about me, and I'm so glad that you're here and that you have joined us today so that we can give you some tips and really help to change the way that you operate throughout your week so that you're getting a lot done. And more importantly than just getting a bunch of stuff done, it's important that we're getting the right things done and the things that are our biggest priorities. I like to use Sunday afternoons for this, and when I do, when I'm on track with it, and I'm far from perfect, but when I am on track with this, I am so much more productive during the week and committed to getting so many more things done. And so that's what I love about it. So we're going to go ahead and get right to it. So the first step, if this isn't something that you've already done in the past, I highly recommend that you take some time to do a brain dump of everything that's on your mental to-do list. And one of the things that does is it frees up your brain space so that you're not constantly clogged down with that list of things that's like beating into your head about what it is that you need to get done. And we lay there awake at night thinking of all the things that we have to do the next morning, or when we're with our families, our minds are actually off into outer space somewhere trying to think of all the things that we're supposed to be getting done that we're not. And when we're at work, we're thinking about all the things at home that we're supposed to be getting done. And it can be really frustrating. And so the best way to kind of clear your brain from all of that is to do a big, giant brain dump. Glad you agree with that, Victoria. And just get everything out on paper so that you feel more free, and that those things aren't constantly coming up and bogging you down, but you have a place where all of those tasks are held and it's secure and you're not going to forget about them. You have them in one place. So some people like to write them down, some people like to put them on their phone. I highly recommend keeping your to-do list on your phone. That's what I do. Sometimes though, I just need to have a piece of paper to write everything out first and just brain dump. There's something different about writing it down versus typing or thumbing, and the research tells us that that's true. And so for the brain dump piece, I really love to use pen and paper to be able to do that. And then you can look at your whole list and go, because you have it out of your head and on paper in a nice, safe place where you can keep it. So if you don't regularly, I think at times when you start to feel frantic and overwhelmed and feel like there's so much going on, you can't keep track of it all, that's a perfect time to be able to do that brain dump and be able to relax and feel that some of the stress has gone away because you've taken it out of your head and put it onto paper. So once you have your list, it's important to know that our brains operate at a place, for whatever reason, we can handle about 3 main things at a time, no more than that. And we try to cram so many things into our schedules. I have been very guilty of that, and it's too much. It's just too much. our brains can handle about 3 main priorities. So when you look at your brain dump list, look for those 3 priorities, the 3 main things that you have in your life that you want to take care of. They're the 3 biggest things. Now, you're probably going to have more responsibilities than that. You're going to have more hats that you wear than just 3, but recognize that the top 3 are the ones that you are going to be the most productive with, and the rest of them, you're probably going to have a little less productivity with them. Now, I had to go through a point in my life. I went through Smart Success. It's a program that Chalene Johnson has created. If you're not familiar with Chalene Johnson, you can look her up. She's all over the place on social media. But her Smart Success program is really what helped me dial in to figure out what my most important priorities were. There are some things that naturally I'm more drawn to. They're more fun for me. I'm kind of a recovering workaholic. And so the fun stuff is harder for me to get time of rest and time for fun and hobbies. My work stuff and personal development things are just sort of natural to me. Like I can go and go and go and go and go with those things, but I really need some accountability in like putting the brakes on some of those a little bit so I can spend more time in other areas where I have bigger priorities. And so when I went through Smart Success, I was able to identify that, okay, here are some of the areas of my life, and these are some things that are going really well, and these are some things that need more focus and more attention from me. And I, after that, went through a process of really saying no to a whole lot of things and getting some things off of my plate because I just had too many things going on. And I think that's so normal for most of us. If you can relate to that, then you're in the norm. I think that so many of us are just have way too much to do. So it's a process of, and it takes time. Some of those things are things that we can identify and just say, no, you know what, my time and attention it's more important for me to direct it elsewhere, and here are some things that I need to get off of my plate, and you can find someone else to do it and delegate it. You can just say no. Some things might take more time to be able to get them off of your plate and off your schedule, but it's really important that we key in on our top priorities. So, and then it's also, so you're gonna do your brainstorm list, you're gonna identify some top priorities and figure out which ones are most important to you. It may not be most important to somebody else, but they're most important to you. Because when we are moving, we wanna be at a place where we're moving our life forward in the direction that we choose. And I really believe that if we have our life spread so thin that we're always responding to other people's demands and we're not able to focus in on the things that are most important to us, then we're probably not moving our life forward in the direction that we want to be headed. We maybe are feeling, that's when we start to feel like we're spinning our wheels and that we're just not really gaining the traction that we want. So being able to get to a place where you have the freedom to choose how you spend your time and how you direct your energy is huge. So focusing in on your most important priorities is a part of that process, but knowing that it's a process and it doesn't happen overnight. I was in a place where I was pulled so far between a couple of jobs that I was working, the desire and the need to be home with my kids, and feeling all kinds of responsibilities there, plus volunteer work that I was doing, plus a business I was building, and it was ridiculous. It was way too much, and had to go through a process of focusing in on what was most important to me. So in order to focus on your key priorities and figure out how you can have your most productive week, then it's important to identify those specific tasks that you want to accomplish in the next week based on your top priorities. And so Sunday nights are a really great time to take that brainstorm list that you've created along with the top 3 priorities that you have and identify specific tasks that you can accomplish in the next week that are related to those top 3 priorities. Now, again, we're probably going to have more things that we also have to do and that we have to get in there, and you can prioritize those things lower on the priority list because you want to move forward with your top priorities. And the other things, you're going to notice quickly that there are a lot of things that are going to be falling off of that off of your to-do list or off of that priority list, because that means that's a good indicator that there's too much going on, that you have too much that you're focused on, and that we can start to And that's probably a whole nother topic is to talk about how to remove some of those things from your schedule and from your to-do list, and how to really reclaim your schedule so that you can get back to that. Okay, once you have so now you've identified your list of things that you're going to do for the week. It's based on your priorities. It's based on your list of things that you've brainstormed, that you just dumped out of your head, so that's on paper in a nice, safe place. Carry that to-do list with you. All of the things that you want to accomplish for the next week. I keep that on my phone because I always have my phone with me. I've tried keeping it on paper, and I can't. I can't keep it for more than a couple of days, and then pretty soon it's lost in paper scatter space. I don't know. But my phone, I might lose it, but Find My iPhone app can tell me where it is, and I can grab that phone again. So I always keep my to-do list on my phone, and I'm checking in with it on a regular basis, and checking those items off throughout the week. I am someone who loves checklists and checking things off the list, and I'm so much more productive when I can scratch it off. Paper scatter space. Yes, it's a new word. And we have it. We just have it. I don't know how you get rid of it. I don't know. All right. So the next thing I do is to check in every day throughout the week at one common time during the day. So usually I try to wrap it up before I go to bed today. You put a Post-it note on your phone. I would have 82,000 Post-it notes on my phone of to-do list items. Is that the Post-it note that you put on your phone? I have a to-do list app that I like to use. I like to use Awesome Note. I've gone back and forth with it. I used it for a little while, and then I got away from it, and then I got back to it. They've done some updates and things like that, so that's what I'm currently using. I get a little ADD over my systems for how I keep my to-do list, but that's what I'm currently using, and I do kind of like it. So I have one list of, you can create folders in there. So I have one folder that is my to-do items for the week, and then I put those in, and I plug in reminders. You can plug in when they're due, and I just use that as a reminder system, so that at 9 o'clock it'll pop up with probably because I just know that 9 o'clock in my schedule works for me to get a few things done, and so 9 o'clock will pop up with a few different items that I need to do. And if I don't get them done at 9 o'clock, then they stay on that list, and I will check in with it again throughout the day. So that's really helpful. That's what I do. Then I also check in at the end of the day, so that I can look at my list of things that I've accomplished, and have I done that? And if not, then I take all of those remaining items and schedule them for the next day, so that I get that reminder again. And then that's how I stay on track with getting those highest priority items done. And I'm so much more productive when I can stay on track with that. All right. So those are, I'm just checking my notes. Can you tell? So those are the tips that I use. That's my system that I set up. It doesn't matter, I don't think, that you exactly follow that system. What matters is that you focus in on what your priorities are, that you identify those tasks that you need to get done in a week, and that you're consistent with checking back in with your to-do list. So many of us, here's what I used to do. I used to, when I was working in higher education, I would go sit down at my desk, and I'd open up my email, and then I would reply to all my emails, and then I would have 87,000 to-do things and new projects that I would have found from my email. And one of the best quotes I've ever heard was from Brendan Burchard, and he said something about, I'll probably butcher this, but he said basically that your inbox is nothing more than an organized system for someone else's agenda. It's brilliant. It's so true. Your email inbox is what everyone else in the world needs from you. But it does not define your priorities. It doesn't define how you want to move forward. And that's the key. So being able to make that shift of responding to everyone else's needs versus responding to your own stuff and your own priorities is really what makes a huge difference in helping you to be more productive. So creating a system that allows you to do that and keep those priorities and those tasks in front of you all the time is what is really going to be helpful. So I just encourage you to find that system that works for you using the tips that I've given you. And if you find another app that works for you or something else, I'd love to hear about it. You can just tweet me. It's Amanda Bentow, Bentow. You like that email perspective? Yeah, I thought that was really helpful when I heard that tip. But I used to always be driven by my email inbox and by my calendar. And those were the things that ruled my world. And now it's really based on what my goals are and the tasks that I need to accomplish based on my goals, which has completely reversed and flipped upside down my priorities and how I go about my tasks every week. So I hope that's helpful for you. I'd love to hear if you have a big takeaway. I'd love to hear about it on Twitter. If you have any other questions that came up from it, feel free to let me know. And if you want just more personal development kinds of things, you can go to unleashedforlife.com, and you can sign up there, and I've been sending out weekly videos with personal development topics and info to help you live your best life. So I also, if you're interested in this, every morning at 6 a.m. Central Time, I am on Periscope broadcasting a daily devotional time. It's a quick, probably 10 to 20, I've been stretching it, 10 to 20 minute devotional time, where we go through some scripture. We talk a little bit about what that means to us, and then give it an action item for the day and some prayer time. So you're welcome to join me for that as well. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.